Let's see. I'm just going to. So,
Hello.
hello, dear friends. It's so good to see you again.
Too.
Yeah, I have these crazy light settings right now, but it will soon be darker outside, and this orange color will fade away. So, yeah,
I like the orange.
yeah. Well, yeah. I look like a carrot, but
No,
it's
you
good.
don't.
That's a
You look
vitamin, right?
you look like a golden Buddha.
Golden Buddha, yeah, I love Buddha.
Me too.
How have you been? Welcome to this chat. How has your life been since we last met?
You go first, Cody.
Um, no, I guess fine. uh, I don't know. Right now, it's just a little frustrated with stuff. The things just seem to be always like stopping me, and like not stopping me, but just little things that should be going smoothly aren't going smoothly, and therefore I get frustrated. You know, it, it's little stuff, but I'm getting more frustrated with that little stuff, and I shouldn't be. Yeah.
Okay.
Going through the same thing, Cody.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
was just telling Eva about that. Like last time, just for an example, I was trying to get on a live with Alexandra and Eva, and Alexandra used some platform that wasn't Zoom, and my phone didn't support it, my iPhone and my computer, so I couldn't join, just little things like that. And so I just have to let it,
Center yourself.
yeah, yeah, let it go. It's hard.
Yeah. Well, I think she had something called Upstream. I never used it before, but
Yeah.
but you did come on, did you? Yeah. Well, you.
No, I was commenting, but I couldn't get on your live stream.
No, that's true. That's true. So yeah, but what is going on outside in the world? Because I've noticed that a lot of us is feeling a bit moody. Can I say so? Well, isn't there a lot of things happening with our bodies in this process? You know, when the upcoming of Mother's Day were approaching, it felt like it was more like it was not just the Mother's Day for being a mother. It was so much more. You know, like the whole universe were standing in alignment with the physical energy of the mother. You know, in all the different levels. So somehow we were celebrating both the physical womanhood, the feminine energy, Mother Earth, you know, the whole spectra of the feminine divine.
Hmm.
Did you have any thoughts about that, or did you notice anything in the energy field there? Because I certainly did.
I was personally, I was struck by a post that Nicole posted, uh, and it had to do with ripping the band-aid off instead of letting things go a little at a time, just rip it off. And so for Mother's Day, I noticed a lot of things coming in that had to do with my life personally, and and my, like my niece and people around, and so I could feel, I well, I heard that empaths are really feeling everything from everybody, and so that's why we're getting depressed, because we're feeling everybody's feelings. And I certainly am. I've always known I've been empathic, but it's really more intensified. It's like I told you like a week ago or so, I was like one whole day, I was like feeling all the pain and sadness and grief of the whole world. And I kept trying to hold back tears all day, and I couldn't pinpoint it on any one thing until I realized that's what was happening. And it was profound. It was like the whole crying for the whole world. And so it's slowly eased up, but I have to clear myself many times a day and cast it into the Saint Germain's violet flame to be transformed and taken to the higher octaves to be uncreated, many times a day.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed that there was something off with you, like you weren't yourself within your energetic fields. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's happened.
I
But
also,
it's a lot better. It's a lot better. But now that I know what's going on, when it hit me that day, I didn't know what was happening.
no, I have been having trouble myself sorting things out, exactly what it is, because it's not one thing, and it's a lot of small things that are coming together like a ball of threads. So you have to start to working with the energy there to see where it goes, and it's all tangled up with each other. So, but what I can feel is like we definitely are in this time split change. Everything is happening physically, and it is just happening, and you can see that the old actually is crumbling down, but you're also noticing it within the family structure. So you can see how people are changing within in your close relationships, realms, communities, work, co-workers, everything around you. And you can sense like who some people are actually moving further and further away, even though they are very, very close. And it doesn't feel like it's them anymore. It feels like there's been some sort of cord cutting, and we have relationships, but we are in such a different levels, time changings or whatever. I still have trouble to put words on it, because it's a lot of small things just happening that are caught up in my head at the moment. So
You said it really, really well, Eva. That in the time thing, the other night I had a dream that I went back in time with a girl to show her how she's grown and changed. And then on another level, you said the little things that are happening. Like today, I was in my room and I swear my roommate was washing clothes. And so um, I asked him if he was leaving, do you want me to put your clothes in the dryer? And he goes, well, I don't think I washed any clothes. And he looked in the washer and there was nothing there. And I knew I heard the clothes washing. I mean, it was like, okay, something's happening here. And what you said about people close to you, the cord cutting and getting further, it's happening around me right now. It's happening.
also you are noticing it too.
Oh yeah, really a lot. I just didn't know how to vocalize it. But you did. I mean, all these things are happening. It's so many things. So
Yeah.
it's whew. What about you, Cody?
Lately, I've been remembering, or at least having dreams. For the longest time, I don't either remember them or just I don't have that cognitive I'm dreaming thing. Um, and I'm pretty sure it's me getting off of cannabis that's like allowing me to actually dream now. But there's one that's kind of stuck with me, and I really can't figure out the symbolism to it. Um, yeah, I kind of want to say it, but it's not too long. But anyways, like I was sitting on like the edge of some driveway near a mailbox, and I guess I was like waiting for some package, and the package arrived. I'm opening the package, and then someone in a car is driving towards me and trying to hit me with the car. And so I have to jump out of the way of the car, and I guess the person just continues and parks in his driveway. So it's like I know the person because he's like my neighbor, and he was trying to hit me with the car. I was gonna like let it go, but then a whole bunch of like people came up and they're like, "You can't do that, you can't do that," and call the cops and all that type of stuff. Cops come and arrest me, so I go to jail, and then I don't know why I was arrested for that. And then while I was in the jail, it transformed into this like open theater thing, and the cops were like checking everybody's like stuff or whatever, and I was finally like allowed to leave. When I was leaving, I had to make sure that I had all my stuff, and apparently I like brought my crystals with me for some reason, and I knew I was looking through my stuff and I couldn't find the crystals. I was like, "Where are my crystals? Where are my crystals?" And they're like trying to get me out the door, like, "Just leave, just leave, just leave." I was like, "I can't leave without my crystals. I know you have my crystals. Give them back to me. Give them back to me." And the dream ended with me basically yelling at this clerk person or whatever to give me back my crystals. And I just don't
Wow.
know what the symbolism of any of that is.
Wow.
Could it be like you're protecting your own energy field, like the crystals are the grid around you that, have this protective space around you? Because
Yeah,
the cop, it's an authority symbol, and by you being chased and then being arrested, it's like we are in the midst. This is also one of those things that have, entered in my field, to separate, to be. And I actually draw a card right before we went on here, Seven Gabriel, and it says, "Stand up for what you believe in. Have confidence. Claim your personal power." So the dream that you were talking about right now is like this protective energy about you standing in your own power. And we obviously are getting, if we are splitting timelines for real right now, people will be judging, or confronting you. You have to stand firm in your own energy at this time. Make up your belief system. Is this what I am comfortable with to be? And can I stand for this and hold that truth in this moment? Because the thing seems like we are in these judgment days once again.
mhm, yeah,
Can you relate to that with your dream?
yeah, definitely like the protectiveness of the, like, I kind of get the sense that I was trying to protect my spirituality, or like this, just the sense of energy and all that type of stuff with me, like kind
Mm.
of being, confronted, chased, and then the authority, police, and all that type of stuff kind of trying to get me down, if you will, the man bringing me down. And me kind of standing up, if you said like, "I need my crystals, where are my crystals," type of thing. The crystals symbolizing the crystal grid and energies and all that type of stuff. So does kind of flow with that, of me kind of standing up for what I actually want,
Mm.
even if the circumstances aren't what I want.
Yeah.
But I've also felt the distancing of people as well, but it's slight and kind of different. Where I have like my roommate Rachel. I've been just feeling like a separation between us, to where I don't think she's like, I don't know. I don't want to be like selfish in this thinking, but I feel like she just doesn't want to be around me anymore. I'm just, you do your thing, I do my thing, type of thing. But it just feels weird because we're technically in a relationship, so we can't just be like, you know. I
Mm.
don't know. It's a weird thing.
Yeah. but I can relate to that. That is a bit what I was trying to explain earlier, that I can sense with some people that we are drifting apart, even though we are in some sort of a relationship, and it's mostly around with the co-workers, people that you didn't thought you were going to connect with are actually strengthened, and that is quite weird too, because you feel like, no, we have nothing in common, and that bound of community and working together is getting closer, and those people who you actually thought you did have something spiritual with, you have talks, and you have had a lot of good conversations about, evolving, expanding it, and etc. They are sliding away.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I can totally relate to that weird sense of having a relationship, but we are not having
Yeah.
a relationship anymore. So wow. I just need to say that I actually drew three cards. The first was seven of Raphael. Oh, there's two seven here. Seven of Raphael, and it looks like this. And I don't know if you can see what it says on the bottom there, but
No.
it's time to make a decision. Is that what it says? Time to make a decision. Be clear on what you want and take action. A need for detoxification. And yeah,
There.
absolutely. And the second one was three of Raphael, and that one says reasons to celebrate, a community of friends, happy announcements regarding relationships or children. Well, and the last one was this one: stand up for what you believe in, have confidence, and claim your personal power. Um, I I actually going to share this dream too. I had this really really weird dream about being chased too, and yeah, and I was on a ship, like a huge, huge passenger ship, and somehow I went down with the lowest plane plane on the ship, the where the machinery etc. are, and it was kind of dark, and almost looked like this ship wasn't in use anymore, and it was dark, and on the floor someone had written with crayons, like, you can't find us here, or we won't be found here, or something, and it was repeatedly on the floor. So I went, and with my flashlight in my hand, I went into this door that was open, and suddenly there was something just starting to flashing, like some portal were open, lightning and thunder mood kind of things, and the door just slammed behind me, and I had my arms stuck out, and I actually felt it cut off my arm, and I shouted out in my dreams, but obviously I have shouted out in sleep too. And when I woke up, I didn't feel hurt or anything, and I didn't feel stressed out like I was chased, but I did have this sense of something has been cut off and left behind, and I have to move on in certain ways. And I can't sort that vision out for myself yet either. So can you help me out there? Do you have any guessings of what it could mean?
Well, I don't know. It not somewhat relates with like I've had to like cut off a certain part of my life, so to speak, and move on, even though I've been thinking that I need to go back to it. But the energies are saying don't, type of thing, just move on. And that was mainly like huge spiritual meditations of visionary stuff. Like I've been super grounded and just into being me, not really doing much of that type of spiritual work or energy work or anything like that. And so I felt like that was a huge part of me that I've just like cut off because I haven't been doing it at all. I just haven't had any, you know, drive for it, so to speak. And also felt like it would bring me too much into my head where I was trying to not escape from, but I knew I needed to get out of my head and bring myself down. And so doing all that spiritual stuff kind of just naturally brings me up into my head. And so I had to cut that part off of me for a while. And I haven't even, like, this morning was the first cryon channeling that I've listened to in like 2 weeks or more. Haven't done any of that type of stuff. And so I get that a part that can be cut off and you kind of have to just move on to something else or
Yeah.
Well, I've spent years analyzing my dreams, and I used to keep dream journals, and I have 2 dream books that I refer to all the time. One's a spiritual one, and one's from a long time ago, worldly one that I really treasure. But I would have to look up the aspects, and I use both of them when I interpret dreams. Ultimately, it's up to the dreamer to translate their own dream, because you can look up the symbolisms, but I find that there's no one that can interpret your dream but you. I can, for the symbolism for your right side, your masculine side, and your right arm, maybe some part is being cut off. That's your right. I don't know if you're right-handed or left-handed, but you feel like maybe some of your power is being cut off, and that's why you drew stand in your power. There's so many things to dreams. The dreams are just really powerful, but there's many levels and meanings for dreams.
Yeah. Well, some are more clear. You remember them more like they were physical, like they were actually happening. So a few of them, like this one, you knew that you were aware of where you were, and but you wasn't sure whether you actually were there or if you were dreaming. So yeah, so some of those dreams, I do know that it has some meaning within it, and I'm still trying to figure out the different levels within that dream. But obviously, the ship were on the open sea, so that is a vessel for my movement through life. And the darkness, we have been talking a lot about doing shadow works, and releasing whatever doesn't fit us anymore, and it all comes back in different layers. You peel off, you peel off, you peel off, and you're still cleansing and purging, even though you think I have been cleansing and purging for the last couple of years now. It feels like it doesn't doesn't it end. It really need to just end. um and then of course you are feeling so many things, and like cosmic detective as you are, you need to go to to look up the like a detective, to see what other people are thinking, or what it leads up to, or how the collective is doing. So
Yeah, yes. I do know you said you were on a ship on the open sea. Well, water symbolizes your emotions.
yeah.
So, and if you're in a big ship, it's like a lot of them, you're plowing through on a big ocean of emotions.
Mm.
And I know in a car, if you're in a car and you're not driving your own car, you're letting someone else take that. So there's a lot of, I'd have to look both of those up. I don't know about a car hitting you, Cody. Somebody else that's in charge is trying to hit you, but a neighbor, I don't think it means your literal neighbor.
Yeah.
It's more like someone that's next to you is trying to take charge or something, or stop you from doing, opening up your surprise, opening up your present, your gift. And then your crystals, the cops are trying to keep your crystals away from you. Those are really two and really important dreams you guys are having that I think.
Yeah, and like you said, some dreams, like you can feel that you're actually there. And that one was one that I felt like I was actually there. But last night's dream, it's like I physically felt like I was doing the movements and I was there, but I can only remember like this tiny little portion of it. And I knew it was this huge epic that I was on, and I can only remember a tiny little bit. and, and it's like the weirdest thing, because I was basically, the thing that I noticed was I was in a fantasy video game. So I was a video game character, and it was like fantasy setting, and I was basically trying to gain power or something like that. I tried to get more power into me to be a higher level character, or whatever. And so I like went into this dungeon or whatever, and cut this evil energy thing, and then I like all of a sudden got this like super OP power, so overpowered power. And like I became like invincible basically just by cutting that one evil energy thing. And that's like such a small tidbit of this huge epic that I was on.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of epics, Cody, I've been led to rewatch The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. And I started The Hobbit, The Unexpected Journey last night. They're on HBO. And I thought, wait a minute, I got to see what order I should watch it in. And so I found out I should watch one of the Lord of the Rings first, and then the Hobbits, and then the other two Lord of the Rings. So, but what I learned last night by watching the first part of the Hobbit, I always asked to see the big picture and the little picture, because that's what Yogananda in his book, he said that he did go to movies and he always asked to see the big picture and the little picture. So now everything I watch, I say, show me the big picture and the little picture. And so just the beginning of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, was here's the Hobbit. His life is great. His cupboards are full. He's just sitting down, getting ready to eat dinner. And there's knocks on the door and all these people start coming in. all these, and they're eating his food and drinking his drinks. And he's like, trying to be nice, but he's like going, why are these people coming to my door? And then in comes Gandalf, and he knows what's going on, and knows he's laying this trip on Bilbo Baggins, and he's like, he's comfortable in his life. He's not ready for that unexpected journey that's going to happen. And so I think that's what we're all on. We're all on an unexpected journey, you guys. And
Yeah.
we're not comfortable with being pushed out of our comfortable little Hobbit home in our little comfortable surroundings. That's what I'm getting. So it just had to make me laugh, So anyways, I don't know if you guys want to add something to that.
Well, yeah, I not really got pushed out, but I tried to push myself out of my comfort zone just to, really, I don't know, like settle in this new energy that I'm a new person. I have this, or I don't have it, but there's a Thursday night market in Chico that like basically the entire downtown turns into a farmer's market. And I would never really go to those type of things because there's just a ton of people and I don't really need to buy anything there. So there's no real use for me to go there. But I was like, okay, I'm going to push myself and go out there. And I was just going to walk around and kind of just feel the energy of the people, kind of just get a glimpse of whatever. And I was walking around and there was this like live band that was playing. And so I sat down and listened to it, and they're doing like, some Spanish type of nice, stuff. And I noticed that all the little kids were dancing so freely in the front. They had all the adults in the back, and they're looking over their kids that were just going freely. And this one older gentleman walked up to me and he says, "Do you know why they're not dancing? Not the kids, but the adults. Why they're not dancing?" And I was like, "Well, my first one was, well, they're too afraid." And he was like, "That's part of it. The other part, there's not enough self-love. They don't have enough self-love to express themselves freely in this environment." And I was like, "Yeah, huge one. Okay."
Wow. That
That's
is
It was just,
true.
yeah, yeah.
that was meant for you to be out there. Thursday was Cinco de Mayo. And so that's why the Mexican band, but I love it when the kids get up and dance, and they don't care who's watching. And that was huge. Not enough self-love, because I know self-love is a big thing I see on Facebook now. The light workers are saying, even today I saw one, love yourself more. I see that all the time. When you love yourself, then you can love others. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is also a reason why you should set a lot of boundaries around yourself and have those protective crystals around you. So you have your own energy, and that is also a part of my journey right now, because I do know that our dreams are connected in somehow, as you're watching the Hobbits and the Lord of Rings. There is so much symbolism in there, and it is processing what's going on in our journey, and then try to make the subconscious is trying to make it more logical, and we should let go of the logical and just flow, as Stara said, connect with the heart. The last time we went on there, but yeah, I also have a lot of fees in my no, what do I have, posts on my Facebook. So yeah, and there was a post by Yuriko Sal, and I tried to find it, but I forgot to mark it, so I kept it on my Facebook. But I can't find it now. But she wrote something about that the Earth is moving into the seventh Earth, and there's a legend from Africa that says that one of those tribes uh, of the origins that are living there now, when one of the elder men is passing from this physical world, so is the earth moving into this new dimension. And obviously he has passed away now, and there is a lot of things happening. I just want to know if you have anything, do you feel anything connected to that? Because I know about seventh heaven, and I heard the seventh earth before. I know there are some writings about it. Uh, Anastasia Fennell wrote the Cosmic Legends of the East, and she's talking about Seven Earth too, from the Moon people to the Lemurian, Atlantis, and so on. So, have you heard about this?
Not that I can recall. I know I've heard about the Earth's many times has like Atlantis and all that it's happening now to us, but we won't end up like Atlantis, or we're going to transition through this. So I don't know if that has to do with that. That's what came to my mind when you were saying that.
Yeah.
What came to mind is, for me, is an old Bashar channeling, where a person was asking him about the seventh sun, that is our sun shifting into this seventh sun, and his kind of explanation was like, there is no seventh anything. You're constantly shifting from moment to moment to moment. So if you try to limit yourself into these characters of it has to be this seventh or this whatever, and it's limiting you into the possibilities that you could be. And so basically don't limit yourself with having to have a label of what earth you're on. You're constantly on different earths every moment. You know?
I agree with that big time. I agree, because time is an illusion, and we're all living simultaneously everything, and so we can't limit ourselves. If well, we can if we choose to, but
Yes.
but if we're unlimited, so why limit yourself if you're unlimited?
So we are
Yeah.
living in a time of creation, new creations all the time. Would you
Yes.
say that? Well,
Yes.
that brings us into the next one. There has been a lot of talk, like just the past week, about co-creation. It's in its own world. Reshma had her experience, and I posted by Crystal Lynn, put it on my page, and she was talking about how to manifest the things you want in your reality, and I loved her description of it, because she did take the ancient history and put it in a modern version of how to create things, and everybody's talking about it. It seems like everybody's talking about it. It's nothing new, but there's has been actualized in this now. So are we co-creating enough, or should we co-create more in our own life? Do you manifest things?
And the manifestation thing is always a little tricky because there's different levels of the manifestation, and that your conscious mind isn't going to be able to uh, cognize what the best path, so to speak, or what you actually want to manifest. And your higher self is probably going to have a clearer version of what you actually want. Therefore, the higher self is the one that's truly manifesting or allowing these things to fall into place for you to move towards. But there's this thing of not forcing an idea and having to have that idea be that exact thing. You're allowing the intention to bring the energy that's already there to you. And so my thought process of manifestation is that it's already existing, and you just have to move to the earth that it exists on. But you can't just, let spirit do everything, so to speak. You have to be involved with that manifestation. But you can't be overly, you know, saying it has to manifest this exact way.
No. No.
Well, I have to say this, that this term manifestation has, for me, a different meaning probably than my idea of manifestation is totally different than a 3D manifestation. So yes, I'm 76 and I'm retired, and I'm not trying to manifest 3D material prosperity. And I see everyone around me, my family, everything, work hard. Only if you work hard can you manifest money to have what you want. For me, I'm happy to manifest my spiritual stuff. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do anything else but that, because the other stuff is meaningless to me. If I was homeless, yes, that would probably make me worry a little bit. Right now, I don't have to worry about that right this second. You never know about any. So I think where the split's coming for me with the people around me is that my idea of what I'm doing is important to me. It is so important that I do my spiritual work every day. And to other people, they may not think I'm doing anything because I'm not out there trying to make money and manifest the 3D things that they think is important. So it's really, really hard for me to be in the world and not of it right now. So hard.
that was a big theme for me as well. I basically have been doing, quote unquote, nothing for most of my life, ever since graduation or whatever, when everybody expects you to get a job and move on to your career or whatever, that type of thing. I've just been focused on spiritual, growth, if you will. Just my main thing from a childhood is I actually wanted to be enlightened. I wanted to reach nirvana. That was like, when a teacher asked you what you want to be when you grow up, I always replied, I want to be enlightened. I, and so that was like my thing to do. And everybody around me, I kind of connected with that like person trying to control whatever. My Aunt Kim, she's kind of the one that oversees a lot of my stuff. So it's be like financial and medical, all that type of stuff. She's kind of like the overseer of that. And she's always wanting me to actually get involved with life, and so I see that that's the controlling aspect of that, of someone really wanting me to get out into life and, do you type of stuff. And I'm like, I'm already doing me. I'm already in life. It's just I'm not outside my room doing it.
I remember when you said your brother was trying to get you to do that too.
Yes, him as well. Yeah. Well, he's just a super physical person, and he doesn't really fully understand that you can be sitting in your room doing nothing but still be accomplishing so much things. Like I could be healing the entire global consciousness with me just sitting in my room, whereas he just thinks I'm just sitting in my room.
Exactly. And I do, all of my work that I'm doing. I want to tell everybody I'm about God's business. I'm doing God's business. And some people don't believe there's any God. So why would that mean anything to them? So how do you, it's so, ever since I was little and I knew I wanted to go home and I didn't belong here and I didn't want to be here, I've always had trouble being in the world and not of it. And I keep thinking, well, now I'm retired and people should leave me alone so I can do what I want to do. And I find that that's still not true, because as long as you're in this world, you're not allowed to do it. As long as we're in the 3D world anyway. Anyway, unless you're like super wealthy and you can lock yourself away in the room, like maybe Howard Hughes. But I think Howard Hughes, I just recently read something about him that he didn't lock himself away for no simple reason. He knew some stuff was going on and they were after him. And that's why he locked himself away. And I did not know that. But the things that I know now I know why he locked himself away. And I thought, how could somebody that had that much money want to lock themselves away? He had to protect himself because at that time, nobody knew what was going on, but he knew. He found out, and he was like, I'm not stepping out of this hotel room for nobody or nothing. So I don't know. It's crazy. It's a crazy world.
Well, being in one's home is somehow a protective space. It's like you have your own energy field, or you're putting out, invite either the energy from the crystals or other entities, to come in and join your energetic force and field around the house. So you are protected within there. And I also want to be alone in my space here. So I truly love to have the forest outside, and I'm closing the front door to the side where the neighbors are, so I can't see them, and it feels wonderful because I need that time to get in within myself. But I also do love the things that or the thing that people are actually talking about, this creation or manifestation. For me, it's visualization. I I can set a goal and I keep that in focus and I work towards that goal, and that is a way to manifest. And why I think it's so actualized today is that we need to learn to be creators in a other dimension where they already are working with creations. And if we are stepping in as a collective within those dimensions and just letting our human minds run free, whoa.
Yeah, like
I-
I love the example of if you don't have a complete, not control, but awareness of what you're manifesting or what you're creating, then if you go into those places, if you have a thought pop into your head, say a pink elephant, then all of a sudden there's going to be a pink elephant in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't control that. It just popped into your head and it manifested. And so right now the energies are so high that we are manifesting things that we don't actually want to manifest and create. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're creating situations that put us into difficult situations, and we're not fully aware that we're doing it to ourselves.
No.
Um,
So if we bring in a lower frequencies of energy, when you go down the rabbit hole and started to dive into all these forensic energies around you that were just pulling you down, you keep touch of that, and then you suddenly say, I want to create something beautiful, then there's it's not an alignment with between those two things, because you are actually pulling the energy down. So instead of that beautiful flower you wanted to create, you might get something else.
Yeah,
So,
I totally agree with you both. We're always manifesting, and we are creator beings, and we're powerful creator beings. And um, if that's the thing, we don't know that we're most of us don't know that we're powerful creator beings. But I, I love the idea of manifesting, and I'm going to watch that video by Crystal. I saved it to watch later. I just want to focus on manifesting what my higher self wants me to manifest, not the 3D level manifesting. And I don't think a pink elephant would be good for me to manifest right now.
yes, right.
So I'm trying to manifest things that most people would never dream of manifesting. Um, and 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 so
yeah, and I can also see, like, when you were talking, I'm getting back some of my thoughts that I had earlier. Like, we are the dream waving people, and that those monks that has been contemplating for a very, very long time, contemplating on love and peace and understanding and healing, etc. They also had a mission. They were also, creating for the collective state of being, and we are all stepping into that role of creation and awareness that we can create. So I think that everything is coming back to what is actually going on now in this beautiful energy shift, and different timelines that we are on. And but if sometimes it feels like, yay, so marvelous time, and 10 minutes later, oh, lock the doors, where's my crystals?
Mhm.
well, when you're talking about the monks, there's a prayer wheel in the Wood River Valley where I used to live, which is it's like part of Sun Valley Resort, but it's a whole valley of 3 different towns that are, and in the middle, just about in the middle, there's the Buddhist, this man that brought the Dalai Lama to the valley. He is very wealthy, and he had a prayer wheel built in this garden, and inside of the prayer wheel, which is like 8 feet tall and 3 or 4 feet wide, and there's Buddhist paintings all around, and there's a wheel, and you walk around, and inside of this huge cylinder are prayers that monks have written and put
Mm.
inside the prayer wheel. And when you walk around the prayer wheel, you have to walk around from right to left clockwise, not counterclockwise. And you are manifesting all these prayers that are inside the prayer wheel.
Mm. Isn't that where you are pulling your hand and make
Spinning, right?
yeah, make the
And
spinning?
well, yeah, those are little ones, but this is huge, and you have a thing and you walk around it.
Okay.
It's huge.
Okay.
But those little ones that you see are the same thing,
Yeah.
but this one's bigger.
Mm.
Excuse me, I'm busy. Sorry, my
No,
room.
that's
So,
okay.
mhm.
He
That's
didn't.
okay.
I told him I was going to be on a Zoom, but he didn't hear me.
No, he's on a different timeline. He's looking for his laundry.
Mhm.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
those those swiping prayers that we were talking about.
very much.
I'm connecting that moment, and this is also something that she was talking about in her live. That getting up there and start to dance while you are holding the vision or manifesting, um, creating, because the movement is also making it easier to connect, and that is actually a truth. The movement is a vibration or creates a frequency within the vibration of what you are actually manifesting, and that's why she has actually hit so many good trigger points in there that are true, and she is actually talking about them such a beautiful way, so it makes sense for a lot of people to watch. But a lot of people think that you have to be so still when you are sitting and meditate, and don't have
Mhm.
to move yourself or anything, because the enlightenment won't find you. But it's not true. That's
Just
not
like the little kids dancing that Cody was
Yes.
talking about. And I do know that there are Buddhist practices where they walk while they meditate.
Yeah,
Because a friend of mine, they used to walk the golf course with the monks,
Oh.
and they would, when the monks visited. So that was.
Oh.
I have spiritual helpers or whatever. Like when I was doing my energy healing, chakra healing, stuff like that, I had these helpers with me. That one was a psychic surgeon, which is a psychic Bob, I call him. And then the other is a healing mistress, and her name was the Raha. And she specialized in dance healing. And so you dance to heal the energies within you. And so you're just talking about that. It's like, you literally have to move to get some of that energy to actually move within you and to either release or to strengthen. And so her main thing with me is getting me to move as well, um,
That's
yeah, it
cool.
kind of reminded me of that. But,
Mm.
yeah, and kind of wanted to bring somewhat back into like somewhat like a Bashar thing with somewhat manifestation of how powerful we are with manifestation, and it actually brings it all the way back into the dreams. And when we're dreaming, we are creating, basically. We're in like the ultimate state of creation, because we're literally like just manifesting an experience in that state. And the Bashar, the Essassani people are in a dream wake state, to where their dreaming state and awake state are one and the same. And so they don't sleep, and they don't do anything, because they're just constantly in that state of being. And so that's like the ultimate state of creation, to where you're lucid. Like lucid dreaming is like the perfect example, when you know that you're awake in the dream and you can kind of create the dream as you want it to be. That's what we're moving into our physical life, is creating the dream as we want it to be, creating your life as you want it to be, and becoming lucid in this dream, in the physical dream, if you so to speak. Yeah. um,
Oh. This also makes
Yeah.
totally sense. Oh.
Well, when you were talking about that, Cody, my mind flashed to this book I read about these hybrid children on the ship, and they were teaching their parent that would come up to the ship, and they had these balls, and they were teaching him how to, or her, I can't remember, there might have been more than one, teaching them how to manipulate these balls and the creating these things. I don't know if your children do any of that with you, but
Yeah, probably my dreaming state, which I couldn't really remember, but I know that I'm involved with them. I just consciously in my day-to-day life, I seem to be more focused on me, and they kind of want me to be more focused on me so that I can, raise my consciousness and, become more able to actually meet them in physicality eventually.
cool. That's awesome. I can't wait.
I, me either. And when you said children earlier, I was having this thought. I need to ask Cody about the hybrid children, and then you brought it up. So
I think about it all the time, Cody. That's all. When I don't see you, I'm always thinking about the children. And of course, Spirit told me, and this was like not a couple of years ago, it's all about the children. So I do have a hashtag, it's all about the children. And that's why the children are always foremost in my mind.
Yeah, I always in the back of my mind have like the different levels, like you say, big picture within the little picture. I kind of think that our thing happening now is almost like the little picture into the big picture, to where these hybrid children are eventually going to, come and down into more living physically with us and being more interactive with us and stuff. And then with that interaction, we move into basically a completely different species. We have these, it really is like a big picture thinking, to where it's going to take, hundreds and hundreds of years to have this happen, but we're going to be shifting from this species or whatever, combining with the hybrid children that are coming to create a whole different species. And so that's like in the back of my mind, that I know it's all about the children, because they're our stepping stone into a full another level of being.
Mm-hmm. And something I just recently heard, I believe it was Victoria Lillenquist, and she said that unity and oneness is where the magic happens. I think that's in the video I just sent out for you guys to watch. That was so incredible. But unity and oneness is where the magic happens. And so like what you're saying, Cody, when when we think we're separate from them, but then when they are a part of us, we're all going to be one. So literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, the first relationship between a hybrid and a human, so to speak, where they actually produce offspring and create the whole new race. It is pretty intense, like, even though it's happening now, but on the full level of like conscious, human being actually being physically in a relationship type thing with a hybrid that came down to earth. I'm not really explaining it perfectly, but it's just the relationships that are going to happen are going to be at such a different level than what we have right now. That is quite beautiful, and you can't really put it into words. It's a true connection of like one being experiencing himself as two different beings, but yeah.
Yeah, that's
some way when we are transcending into this new state of being, we are the hybrid children.
mm-hmm.
We will be the
Yeah.
hybrid children in a new reality.
Yeah, and also we already have we're all have DNA from, we were seeded, so we all have the DNA from different civilizations. It's just that we don't, some of us aren't conscious of it yet. And so
yeah, that's always a pretty fun one to think about. Like that we were seeded by the Pleiadians were seeded by Octurians were seeded by somebody else. And so we have all that DNA within us. And so we have like the origin DNA, the very first civilization that seeded, so to speak, all within us. And we have just a huge library within us that we have no clue exists.
I know.
That's amazing. So, how are you feeling, Cody? Are you up for doing a healing with your stones?
Yeah.
Now that you have brought them back from the...
Yeah, right. Right, exactly, right. Yeah, it's weird. I haven't done much with it, but I think the crystal that's calling out to me is actually the amethyst, and I might have to go and get it because it's downstairs right now.
Yeah.
But I'll be right
You
back
want
and grab
to
that
if you
amethyst.
are...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel, I know I've been kind of away from the spiritual stuff and all that stuff, but I think it'll be nice to feel that energy again and maybe be able to share it. And so
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right, I'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be here waiting, anticipating. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's so interesting. I love these times.
Yes,
There's
me
a bit
too.
of heaviness in the air, but it's also a bit of freshness and inspiring energy. So it's almost like I'm bipolar, going up and down, and just I'm totally fine, feeling fine, nothing wrong with me. Just this
Yeah, it comes and goes.
yeah.
So when we're talking about being seated, I had to show, this is what I sent out on Facebook today. This book that I was led to,
Yeah.
the light's shining on it. Whoops.
I'm glad you show it because I wanted to ask you before and I forgot about it. What Artendam was guiding you to share.
I don't
I
know
see
what
you.
happened.
I see you.
I something happened to my screen.
Yeah, well, I can see you.
I can't see you guys. I messed up.
That
Oh wait,
that would somehow be a blessing too. Are you closing the
I
door,
don't know what
Johnny?
happened.
Leave me alone.
No, I don't know what happened to you.
But we can
Uh,
see you perfectly well.
okay, well, I can't see you, and I don't know what I hit.
Do you want
I
to?
guess I wasn't supposed to show that.
Hmm,
I'll come back in.
yeah. Meanwhile, I'm just going to pull another card and see what's
Oh
coming
wait,
up here.
no, there you are. You just got lowered down. Okay.
You won't believe it. Seven of Ariel. This is the third card of seven. Seven,
Wow.
seven, seven. So
Well,
beautiful cosmic detective. Seven, seven,
7 is
seven.
the angelic number. It's also the number of the hermit. Uh, it's a very special number. I think Cody's coming with the crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. Sorry, taking a while. Everything's falling out.
Yeah. I just pulled up another card here, and it is
Mhm.
a 7-2. So we have three sevens
Three
in a row.
sevens. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
intense.
And it's also a crystal.
Well, 3 to 7's 21, which is a 3, which is the God power. And there's 3 of us here today.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And amethyst always, or not always, but is connected with the crown chakra, which is 7.
Woo!
Oh, there's something there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Put that there. Stay. Okay. All right. So, a smaller amethyst today. Yeah, got that one. All right, let me just playing with it. Okay, I'll start sending the energy now. guess I didn't have much to send today, but it kind of had a short little brief um, energy, but I think it was more of a, like you said, like, or not you said, but a seeding type of thing. With the visionary that I got was it wasn't like a tube that I normally do where it's like I can see the beginning of the energy and the ending of the energy. It was more like this actual sphere coming down from the top and entering from the top of the head, going down, like a medium-sized one that stays right here, a smaller one that stays at the top, and then a larger one that encompasses the whole body.
Well,
I love that. I just think
I have to tell you,
yeah, go ahead,
um,
Johnny.
uh, Victoria said in that video that we don't give ourselves enough credit, and you're not giving yourself enough credit, Cody, because I tell you what I just happened is I just keep hearing the word peace over and over again, and cigar ship. I don't know what race has the cigar ships. A friend of mine saw one when she was little that chased her home from school. Anyway, whatever race that is sending peace through that crystal today. I don't know what the cigar ship race is. I know there's many different ships and many different.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're Palladian.
Yeah, it was like peace, peace. First, I just heard the word cigar and I go, what does a cigar have to do with this? And then it said, no, cigar ship. This the ones we call the cigar ships. So, oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. And I just need to say, I I gazed through my eyes and I saw like there was a white ball of light on top of your head and a lot of
Wow.
small sparkling lights around you. And
Whoa.
and then I closed my eyes and I sensed this like this tube or pillar going from the crown chakra down to my heart, and it
Whoa.
almost like a small pressure within my heart, almost like a small, yeah, aching, but not hurtful, but still a pressure, you know. So, and then it felt very clear. So it felt like it was some kind of protective energy, or maybe that's because we were talking about protection earlier. But it felt really good. And when you said that it had shifted, I was like, yay! I saw it. Um,
And
that's
I got the peace,
a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have my cigar here, so
Oh, there you go.
yeah. Does anyone want to say something before we close down here?
Well, actually, it was I didn't really know that I was going to be doing the crystal thing, and even that I would be doing with the amethyst. But this morning, when I was walking past this amethyst before, I saw it clearer, like than I've seen it before. I know it has like the purpleness to it, but when I was looking at it, it almost looked like ice, like it was just pure clear, crystal.
Wow.
And I think it kind of like shook me before because I was like, wasn't that purple before? I was like, that was purple. I knew it. Then I had to do a second glance and turn back into the purple. And I was like, okay, so there's something to deal with this amethyst today. And I just didn't know that it would be the one that wanted to do the healing or wanted to be involved today.
Thank you so much, Cody. I missed that. I missed you, missed us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the healings.
Yeah. It feels like it's complete. The day is completed for me. I'm in the evening and you in the beginning of the day, but my day is closing in here and it feels complete. Yeah.
I'm smiling.
That's
Yes.
beautiful. That's
Thank you,
beautiful.
Cody. Thank you, Eva.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Cody, for being here. And thank you for everyone who's tuning in and listen to this chat among friends here on Heart to Heart. Love you. Nice to have
Love you
you with
too.
us.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye bye. and the recording